Greetings, Earthlings. You are now tuning into the Pass On Data radio show with Topher Grey and...
¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Al Dinero.
So I'm gonna get straight into that. Is it Al Solano or Al Dinero? Because every time I run through like the edits, I see a little back and forth.
You know what, man?
On.
It's all over the place. You know what? Growing up, the name has been a evolution because, I mean, so everybody knows my name is Alvaro Solano, right? Mm-hmm. But growing up, you know, people here in the U.S. don't say Alvaro; they say Alvaro, they say Alvaro, they say Alvaro
or Al,
right?
Maybe?
So I used to get a lot of that in school, and they would be like Alvardo with a D. I don't know where they would throw the D in there. But over time, I kind of got tired of like trying to, you know, it's like someone saying, is it data or data? You know, and I'll just be like, dude, whatever. I mean, it's just, I if you call my name, I understand it. I'll answer. And it just got to almost to the point as when I got older, I was just like, you know what, just Al, you know, call me Al. And but as far as Al Dinero, Al Solano, I mean, it's the same, man. Al Solano, Al Dinero. I'm here, man. I'm here for it.
Okay. I guess
you guys know who I am now. And if you're new, then you just heard it.
But
so
you know what? If you guys are listening in the comments, because I barely get, never get anything in the comments. I just get a whole bunch of people being nosy and listening. But if you can, in the comments, even when I post this episode, I'll remind you guys for a vote. You guys want Solano or Dinero?
Boom. There you go.
We're going to let the people decide.
I'd really be interested in that. And you know what? Here's another question. I'd be interested if people think like, because I always say this to people. Like if someone's name is Kimberly, I'm like, that's a pretty name. I like Kimberly. But they'll go by Kim.
Okay.
Or if it's some other name like, you know, some other long name, then they'll go by the shorter version.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I don't like that for other people. I'm like, you know what? You should just say the name the way it is.
You've never called me Christopher.
Christopher. Well, you know, Christopher is kind of long. People like Chris. Unless you prefer to be called Christopher.
I like the long name when parents use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when my mom says it, it just okay, it rings. But as far as other people, I wouldn't want anybody else calling me by my full long name. Right. It's either Chris or Topher.
Right.
Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of kiss, Valentine's Day.
I know. Again.
Boom.
Coming around.
Yep.
How do you feel about it?
I feel like it's a sham. I honestly do. I'm.
Well, they say it's a made up holiday by the, you know, the powers that be that sell things, right? It's a business holiday. It's a way to, you know, drum up business and sales and get the economy going.
Yeah,
it didn't need kickstarting after all the Christmas, you know, purchases.
I don't know the origins of it. It just doesn't. I mean, since I was a little kid, it just never felt like something. Well, I guess it's like all holidays, right? A lot of it doesn't feel sincere. It just feels like more of like a business.
Yeah.
Like when Christmas comes around, people are buying gifts. It just feels like a business. When Thanksgiving comes, it's just constantly, let me see what I could sell people in order to come out and consume. And to me, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, like what are we doing here? That we need a reminder to celebrate appreciating your parents. Valentine's Day. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know the full origins. Let me see if I can. I was having problems with my Google Chrome earlier. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah. You know, when you're a kid, I think Valentine's Day just means, hey, Valentine's Day candy. And then as an adult, you know, you just finished Christmas. So you're kind of to the point where you're like, I don't know what else I need. But maybe it's that opportunity to just, you know, get those items that you didn't get during the Christmas season, right?
Yeah, like leftovers.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, by the way. But then I think they make Valentine's Day a thing for women that men should do for women. And then to make the guys not feel left out, then they come out with like a sweetest day thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? This might be bad to say, but in a way, I kind of feel like Valentine's Day was or is sort of a woman's holiday. It's that holiday for like guys to get women sweets and flowers and, you know, things like that.
It's a romantic holiday.
Yeah, you don't. And a lot of times when you see like even commercials for Valentine's Day, it's all geared towards for the men.
Yeah.
Hey, K Jewelers, go get your woman that diamond ring. Go get her that jewelry. Or hey, there's flowers. Go get your, you know, your wife or your loved one those flowers. And it's never like, you know, hey, go get your man, you know, this thing that he wanted or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but hey, maybe that's just my my kind of
so
biased
are you
thoughts.
Are you anti Valentine's, or you're just like, I'll roll with it? You know, it's just another thing to do.
I mean, I'm I feel like it's a holiday that comes up, and yeah, it kind of in a way feels like a little bit obligatory. But I kind of also see it as a nice way to just, you know, be thoughtful and get like a gift because, you know, I mean, throughout the year, sure, we appreciate our loved ones and all that stuff. And sometimes we just kind of need reminders like, you know what, yeah, this is a nice time to maybe like go get some flowers or go do this or that, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as people may think they are always thoughtful or say thank you for things, I mean, they kind of need reminders. So it is kind of a nice reminder to do something nice for the people you love and all that stuff. But, you know, yeah, I kind of feel like it's a little bit of a consumerism money grab, you know,
and a bit of a hassle because it's it just kind of like inserts itself to like things that are going on. Like
I think we could push it out like another 2 months.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like back to back to back to. It's like what's next? Something's always next, you know. But I guess it in the philosophical sense, it just gives people something to do from going crazy. Yeah. Maybe. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not doing that, then what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, you think about the whole rotation, right? Throughout the year, you got in January, you know, if you really think about it, like you've got maybe Valentine's Day starts it off, February, right? And then you've got spring break. And there's money, right? So people like, hey, we're not promoting anything spring really. Maybe some spring decorations around the house, spring gardening, all that stuff. Boom.
But now it's vacation.
Now you got to go do that. And then you got to spend money on vacation. And then April comes around and boom, there's Easter. So there's all the Easter gifts and all that kind of stuff and the Easter dinners and all that. And then you got summer. Summer comes around.
4th of July, got to buy fireworks.
Fireworks, got to buy all
hot
that
dogs.
meat. You know, we don't got vegetarians in the family, so you got to buy all that meat. And
then what's in September? What is that?
Well, no, hold on. In the summer, now you got summer vacations. So you got all that. Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying, I'm talking about the pattern of spending money.
Okay, yeah.
So you got, and then on top of this, as I'm going along the seasons, there's the clothes you gotta have. It's summer.
Yeah.
Man, I need swim shorts. I need those sandals now. I need hey, it's fall. I need a new sweater. That old sweater last year doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And then you know, it's a constant thing, man. And they've done a good job. They in quotations.
The man.
You know, the Illuminati, man, the people. Yeah. They have done a good job of making sure we spend that money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day is a sham. For me, it doesn't hold, like, it's not like Christmas where, you know, I have nostalgic memories. Like, the only memory I have of Valentine's Day is passing out cards when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, those cool looking, like,
those little,
like cards and stuff. But that's about it. You know, I don't really go all in on the Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I know at least my be expecting something, which is another thing I don't like, because I know women do expect things, even though they're like, no, it's it, don't worry. And you don't show up with some flowers, then you're probably going to get your ass chewed out. Like, let's say tomorrow comes, right? And you tell Lena, hey, how's it going? She's like, oh, fine. And you don't do anything.
Yeah.
You don't bring it up. You don't show up with flowers. Do you think you're going to hear it?
I don't think I'll hear it. I mean, Lena and I have talked about this a lot of times, where we're just like, you know what? Next year, nothing. We're not doing anything for Valentine's Day. I don't want you to get me anything.
Yeah.
You don't get me anything. And just, we're not going to do this.
But that's like the Larry David skit where Ben Stiller tells him, don't bring a gift.
Yeah.
And then he grills Larry David, like, when somebody says don't bring a gift, you still bring a gift.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I envision, like,
it's kind of like going to a dinner party and like not showing up with anything. Like, even though people like say don't bring anything, like, unless they're like, really, do not bring anything. We've got way too much, like, but like, you're just like, I got to show up with something. I got to show up with like some cookies or like whatever.
Yeah, but even though if Elise was to tell me, which she doesn't, but if she was to say, you know what, just let's save money. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not believing that.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still got to show up with something. You still, and then
I just think you'd show up with a little something.
But then you also have to read the signs. Like, Christmas is over with, and immediately the aisles, you have a few pink aisles like at Target. Yeah. Remember, like Kmart? Right. You would get like the whole promotion of, well, you know what? Back then, during the Kmart days, I don't think you would get promotion as early like you do now. Like, I think as soon as Halloween was over, Christmas was already being promoted. As opposed to back then, I think it was a lot more closer to Christmas. Those you get the aisles and stuff.
Yeah.
But this year they started early.
I mean, pretty much after New Year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just throwing the Valentine's.
Yeah, Valentine's. There's pink aisles everywhere. And I don't know. I'm meh with it. I'm meh with it. I'm not like.
Yeah, I mean, I still kind of like to get. I mean, I still get the gift, but it's not as like more of a thought process like Christmas time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
yeah,
I think it's one of those things. Just kind of a little blivet in throughout the year. One of those things you kind of just do. But yeah, Valentine's Day, it's not really like a real celebration. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of holidays come with food and gatherings and things like that, and like family gatherings, right? Like Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, barbecue, getting together. Mm-hmm. Valentine's Day is almost like exclusionary. It's like, oh, just as a couple, we're getting away. But you kind of do that probably throughout the year anyways, right? Like, you don't need a Valentine's Day to do that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, it is. It's truly almost one of those things. It's like something that the big business people in the world just kind of created. Yeah,
I'm trying to like really backtrack. Like, I do have another memory. Actually, it was with Elise. This was fun. We should do this one year. We haven't did this in forever, but one Valentine's, we rented out a room at the, what's that hotel? It was a brand new hotel. I think the W owns it. Oh
yeah, the W is a good brand.
Yeah, but they own this hotel called A Loft. Look at that. She's eavesdropping from the room.
You can't ever. You got to be careful, man.
Yeah.
Don't be saying anything crazy.
Yeah. So we did that one year, and I remember I think my aunt came with Otis, Bobby's there with Marty. It was like a group thing because towards the evening in the lobby, they had like music playing. They had like a DJ, and it's like have you ever seen A Loft? Like
yeah.
It's like really modern, and it looked real cool. And we did that one year, and that was fun. That was real fun. We all hung out, and
you know what? Whenever you can do anything and make it an experience versus a material thing, that's always going to be better. Like, so yeah, everyone loves like getting a new thing, right? Like a new, hey, oh, you got me a new pair of shoes or a new sweater or a new pair of jeans or, you know, whatever that might be. That's always nice. But you don't ever really kind of remember a lot of that. What you do remember, and that's why I always say, I think I've mentioned this to you before, just not on here, but, and Lena and I talk about this all the time, but experiences are what's worth spending money on. So when you tell me you bought like a, you know, $1,000 Louis Vuitton bag, I mean, if that's what you like, great. I mean, that's, you know, hey, good for you. But I'd rather spend $1,000 towards some kind of vacation or experience eating dinner or having drinks out, you know, with friends and family. Because to me, that's more important. And that's going to be, you know, later on in life. You're not, when you're like 80, you're not going to be talking about like remember that Louis Vuitton bag I bought?
Okay, so I'm gonna.
I think you'll remember more. You know, what I was going with was, remember that trip to Mexico we took and we did this one thing, or we all went out for margaritas and remember that place we did, you know, and you'd be like, yeah, I remember that.
These are all perfect segues to this podcast. All of this is perfect segues because, and we're going to get into it. Now, you segued smoothly, by the way. I think, and maybe this is just me going through whatever it is I'm going through, I don't think that's as important as material possessions unless you have photos. Because those memories could easily be forgotten.
No, I don't think.
My grandma doesn't remember shit.
Well,
this is what I'm getting to. Like that, like I took my grandma to Vegas. It was a great time. Just me and her.
You remember it.
For now.
Yeah.
She doesn't, unless I show her photos.
Yeah.
I think the experience with the photos is a necessity, unless you're just really enjoying the moment, and that's what you're in it for, the moment. I think the moment is maybe more important than the memory, because the memory, from what I'm experiencing now, could be forgotten and really not like, because we have a photo album I made her, the Vegas thing, and every time I show it to her, she just seems shocked. Like, when did we do? Like, she doesn't recall. And even looking at the photo, it's like I kind of remember, but this is.
But have you kind of talked a little background there?
It's not there.
No, what I'm saying is a little background there with your grandma, or just for people listening, or
yeah. What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying about remembering about, you know, things, because here's what I was gonna say was, you're kind of talking about photos and everything, and I hear what you're saying, but like, for instance, I think what you're talking about is remembering details as you get older, like in life.
So
what I'm saying is, you know, like if you take you know, your kids to Disney World, or you have this great beach vacation, or you go on a trip to Italy when they're like in 7th, 8th grade, when they're in their 20s and 30s and they're married or they have kids and stuff, they're going to be like, man, I remember when my dad and my mom took me to like France, and man, we had such a great time. We went to the beach out there, and we went to Paris, and like, they're not going to forget that. Sure, they'll forget it maybe when they're 80.
But the person receiving it might not forget it. But I think eventually that'll get lost, because even the person receiving it might forget it. So it's just the thing that just went and left. As opposed to something tangible, like let's say you take a photo and you get it printed, and this was from your trip, that's going to be there forever. Or let's say you bought a nice bag to take with you, and you pass that bag down to your kids and their kids and be like, you know, your grandmother had this bag when she went to Vegas with who. I think the tangible things as much, the material things, as much as we don't think it's that important, I think it's very important. I do think so.
Some things. Some things.
Yeah. The things that matter.
Everyday jeans, not a big thing.
Yeah.
Sneakers, not a big thing. No one's going to care about them. Either if you're a shoe collector, Are you collecting the shoe to just put it on display, or are you wearing them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It definitely depends on the item. Has to have some story behind it and some meaning. It has to hold up well. It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be something. Because my grandma has things in her apartment that are like material possessions that are, that mean, like she knows what those things are. Because she's been seeing it every day. So it's like that weird connection as opposed to the memories already gone.
Mm-hmm.
But there are like specific items where she's like, that doesn't leave there. That's always there.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. But, back to like the photos, I do think you have to have some kind of something tangible to go with the memory, whether it's a souvenir, whether it's a photo, preferably a photo, because that could get like passed down through like generations and stuff.
I think the photo is nice for sure, especially when you're young and you're in the picture.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're an adult, I don't know that so pictures are always nice, but
pictures are great.
I feel I'm saying that from the perspective of someone who grew up, who's my age, right? I just turned 51, and growing up, we took not like how people take pictures today. People take freaking thousands of pictures now, and they don't look at one of them. Back in the day, as you guys all know, listening, who are grew up in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s and stuff, like you took pictures on a camera, you got them developed, and you looked at those kind of pretty often, right? You either had them in a photo album or whatever. And so when you look back at some of those, of a picture of you and your grandmother when you were young in a park or at the lake or at the beach, you're like, man, I'm glad we took this picture, because I was so young, I would not have remembered this moment, but looking at the picture, I do remember this moment.
Yeah. As opposed to now, everybody has pictures on their phone and nobody's looking at it.
I've looked through pictures in my phone and I'm like, oh man, I forgot all about that we did this that one day or whatever.
That's why you gotta make it like a physical cop. I think things that you can like really hold on to and make physical. Like I feel like photos have to be. I'm more into it now. I was always into it. I don't know. You remember? I used to walk around with this little thing and get like the little Insta stacks.
Yeah.
So I made a photo album, and occasionally I'll pull it out so people can look at it. And sometimes I'll go through it, and those memories are really. Sometimes I don't remember any of that, but I'm like, oh my gosh, this happened on this day, because I write on it, and I got the Polaroid here. I mean, viewers can't see, but that's for like those same reasons. It's just, to me, very nostalgic. The photos. I have to have these photos.
Yeah.
I have to have the photos around that. I don't know. To me, it's maybe nostalgic's the wrong word. I'm like terrified I might lose my mind.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to collect physical memories. Like I find myself wanting to shoot video more, wanting to write more, wanting to do things more, just in case if I lose my memory.
Things.
Yeah, photos, have physical photos. I just don't want photos on my phone. I want them to be where you could see them.
Yeah.
You know?
But so, I think like as you get older, you remember those. And that's why, kind of going back to what we said about spending money on like Valentine's Day and things like that, and on material things. Sure, I think there are some key things that you can buy where you're like, man, this is, my grandmother owned this, man. This pot, she cooked in it all the time. This is where she made all her meals that were fantastic. And I remember those as a kid, and she passed that thing down to me. So this is important to me, right? So a material thing like that can be nostalgic and important and worth its weight in gold, and just like something you don't want to get rid of, and you just, it brings back memories every time you see it. But, I'm talking about all the nonsensical,
for sure,
worthless things we buy all day long.
Yeah.
They're just
the pointless BS shenanigans.
That no one cares about. You spend all this money on it, and then it's all thrown in the trash or taken to Goodwill or whatever at some point. But that's why I say, like, spending money on the experiences, food, drink, trips, some of those may go by the wayside, meaning like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that one trip we took to Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic or whatever. But in general, like, you just remember a lot of those good times where even when you get older, you don't need a picture. Like, someone who was on that trip with you can be like, remember that time we went to Dominican Republic and we remember this and we did that and whatever. Like, yeah, man, I remember that. That was awesome. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Or hey, like me and you. Remember that time we went to Paris?
Yeah.
And, we like went up to Montmartre and we had that baguette and all that up there, that fresh baguette. And you bought a ring up in this little jewelry store up there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
good times. It was a good day.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
We don't need pictures for that. It's always going to be in there. It's always going to be in the mind.
Yeah.
I remember that scene and that town and walking around. If I close my eyes, I can see it.
Really? See, I need the photo. Yeah, like I wore that ring the other day, and when I put it on, it brought me back. But it wasn't like something randomly popping in my head. I have a lot of photos from that trip, and there's times I'm looking at it like, that's right. You know what I mean?
I'm going to give you another example. So when we went to Paris, we met a friend of Elise's, Chris's wife, Elise, who is also named Elise. And she lived there in Paris, and she was so kind. I don't know if Elise listens to this, if you guys still connect with her or not, but she was fantastic. Took us around Paris and was so much fun and all that. But we went to go eat with her. Remember, at a little place that who ate there? Somebody ate there, or somebody was there.
I think Woody Allen might have filmed something there. Van Gogh, Pablo Picasso.
Yeah,
that it was an old restaurant right above the hill.
Right. So we went there, and we sat outside. You remember that?
Yeah,
and we ordered food. I remember I ordered one of those traditional like croque monsieur. Or
I had a salad. I think I had a salad from there.
But I can remember that. I remember that vividly. I can see us where we sat. Mm-hmm. I can remember the food, and it was just a good day. And I remember it was hot, and I remember us talking about how hot it was.
Yeah, it was real hot in France.
But man, see, like, for that, I don't need pictures. When we're 80 and you say, God willing, we're 80, and you say, remember that time we were at that cafe and we, I'd be like, yeah, I do remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't need a picture for that.
I do. The picture does help.
But what I'm saying is, we're talking about it now. You remember it
because I see the picture all the time. There's a picture from that.
All
restaurant.
I'm saying is, God willing, you don't go senile and like lose your memory. You're going to remember that always. You're not ever going. It's not like some random thing where you're going to like, oh, yeah, we did that when we were in Paris. We did that. No, of course we did. You remember that?
I hope that's the case. That's the case. But we're gonna get into our first segment. Speaking of photos, after this break, you guys are gonna enjoy this. But like I said, it was a perfect segue. Let's get into it. Let's go. Here we go. So the reason why I say good segue, because speaking of photos, we are post Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance, and I don't think we got to touch down on that. And the reason why I say photos is because the reason why I'm probably fond of him now, because I was never a huge Bad Bunny fan.
Yeah,
I wasn't a big fan.
You didn't start off that way.
No, until I heard his last album, which is titled, I'll translate it, I Should Have Taken More Photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we're talking about photos.
Wait, say that again, because I don't know if it came through clear in my ear. I mean, really? I mean, can you say what you just said again?
I should have taken more photos.
You're saying that's a translation
of his last album.
Right, yeah. Okay, no.
Go ahead. Was I right?
Going. Yeah, no, right, yeah, keep going.
So, so I hear that album and it really resonates with me. Like I hear it, I'm like, huh. And then, I do like music, so I do recognize when something's
what resonates with you.
Well, let's talk about the album, and then we'll get to his post Super Bowl show, right? Because everybody's talking about it, so it's only right that we have a discussion about it,
right?
Because I know we did talk about like prior, like is he gonna do a good job, and he's been kind of the talk, and I guess we should be talking about it. It has to get done. In other words,
I agree.
But the reason why it resonates with me, a few reasons. Sonically, it's great.
Okay.
Like I don't like to be biased. I kind of, because I'm going to be honest, like my ears, I get tired of repetitive noises. Mm-hmm. And when I hear like reggaeton, mm-hmm. it's a repetitive drum pattern. So when I hear it, I'm like, I heard this before. Mm-hmm. Right? And then, you have people saying, man, but you got to listen to the lyrics. Like, okay, yeah, but I need a good body of work. Mm-hmm. I just can't jam. I mean, the pattern of his prior work, he used that same pattern, the same. Lyrics were good, mm-hmm. probably better than most, right? But give me something different. This album, I Should Have Taken More Photos, gave me that. I was like, man, this is hitting specific areas that, for one, he's making old Spanish music sound modern.
Yeah.
We don't get too much of that. You know what I mean? And then the way he's doing it with that specific voice.
Yeah.
He's not like the best singer. This guy can't sit there and hit.
He's not a lyric, like he's not like a Whitney Houston type or like a
even like a Mark Anthony.
Yeah,
which is big into that genre. He's not that, but the fact that he's not that and he's doing it and making it work,
right,
was very impressive. I was like, oh, it's almost like Pharrell. You hear Pharrell, he'll do hooks. I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. He can't sing.
Yeah, no,
but it works.
Yeah, but he's not a singer per se, right? Like a Luther Vandross.
No, but they are singing.
They are, but he's putting it down. He's just putting down some lyrics, and it sounds good. And it's hidden specific spots in my soul, I guess. Yeah,
would be the right thing. Where I'm like, this is good. It's undeniable. It's like when anybody hears Billie Jean. You just automatically move. You're just like, you can't deny that that's not a bad, you can't say, oh, that's a bad song.
No.
You're going to look crazy.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to look crazy. So I was like, everybody's saying it's good. What am I missing? Played it. And I'm just like, oh, this is really fucking good. Mm-hmm. It is good, you know? And then not only that, I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm like, okay, I know he could write, you know what I'm saying? But I like the fact that he just didn't give you one specific pattern. It was like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
It's like, you want this song? Now we're going to go with this song, and then making them unique in its own form. I don't know if I'm making any sense. The album's great.
Yeah, no. All right.
The album is great.
Yeah.
The album's great. Real good that I went back to see if I was missing anything before. And there were some things where I'm like, oh, that okay. It's just, I like where the evolution is at now.
Right.
It's very good. I don't want to be too harsh, like of a critic, because I feel like every music is subjective.
Yeah.
But there is undeniably something different with him now, rather than his first 4 or 5 albums. Because I know he does have a lot of records, and I've listened to them all. This last one is very, very different and very good. Right. It is. He deserves everything that he's getting right now, besides the bad publicity.
Yeah. So what I want to say to what you just said is, I think you're full of crap. No, I'm just playing. No, what I want to say was, I think you're spot on. I think what you said, I agree with everything you said. And I agree with you, and I take your input more than anyone else or most other people, like 90% other people who are out there commenting on social media who don't know what the hell they're talking about because they are not in the music industry. They haven't made music. They're not musicians. Sure, we all have an ear and we listen to music and we either like what we like or we don't like what we don't like, right? You have your preference, but when it, from your opinion, you are someone that edits music, you produce music, you've made music, you play music, and your life really in a way revolves around music. So I take your opinion when it comes to music very highly compared to just the ordinary listener.
Yeah, and I don't want to shit on him because his older stuff is good for what he was doing. For that reggaeton style and for whatever he was doing, he was doing it good. He just took it up a notch to me. Yeah. Like a high notch.
You're talking about this specific album.
This specific album.
Right. That's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah. This specific album is really good.
Right.
It's really good. It's really, I'm not going to even say good. It's amazing. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Like you can't, there's a reason why everybody in the world loves this dude. For sure.
Yeah.
And the thing is, maybe it was always there.
Yeah.
I'm saying why I caught it later. I wasn't going to catch it when everybody else caught it because my ears require something that wasn't that.
Yeah.
And whatever he get, and some people might say, yeah, he's always been doing this.
Yeah.
Dude, I went back. No, he hasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, he's might have tapped into specific sounds, but giving you a body of work where front to back it's good, lyrics are great, is just, I was even telling Elise this, even like the way he presents himself in interviews now, it's just, he went from here to here.
Yeah.
He's
a class act.
For sure.
Yeah. He hasn't stooped to low levels that you would think he probably would, based on criticism. And I'll just say this, the music has been great. And, there may be, I'll say there's critics out there that, talk about that the lyrics aren't in English, but I'll give you a few examples of where I call BS on that. All right. Probably back in the 90s, you remember a little song called La Macarena?
Yeah, they had the dance.
Highly popular, man.
Yeah, the Margarita.
You want to look it up real quick? What was that like? Was it a top? I don't know. Was it a top 12, a top 10
weddings?
Billboard?
Yeah, it was a huge hit.
La Macarena. If you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. La Macarena was a song, two brothers, I think, from Spain. Song is completely in Spanish. Highly popular in the United States. Everyone was listening to it. Back in those days when it was popular, it was playing in nightclubs. If you played La Macarena, people got up off their seats to go dance.
Huge
when it
song.
was at a wedding, a quinceañera, a sweet 16, whatever, people got up and they went to go dance because it was a good song. And guess what, guys? No one, unless you spoke Spanish, no one understood the lyrics. But guess what? Everyone got up off their asses and danced. And so that is one example that cancels the argument that people had of, Bad Bunny being a Super Bowl artist and that it wasn't going to be in English and all that kind of stuff. If you're a music lover, then I'm sure in general throughout your life, you have heard music that has not been in English and you've enjoyed it. So I don't accept the argument that it's not in English and it shouldn't be played like in a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, it's a international sport now. It's an international audience. And I just disagree with anyone who may think that Bad Bunny was not the right artist to have been presented there.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I'm sure everyone has their opinions and all that, but and I respect other people's opinions. But that was just one of my examples of how I'm trying to say, well, in this case, you guys like the Macarena, if you did or you didn't. I don't know if you did or you didn't, but if you did, then where's your argument, right?
Yeah. Well, we have a segment after this subject where I want to dive into politics. And I think from Bad Bunny and the politics around it, I want to dive into that. But I want to take this time to recognize his greatness.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be weird politics and people, like I said, music is subjective. But I think at this point, the thing that's going on with him, they're not looking at the product. You know what I mean? They're not looking at like, hey, this is actually good. They're just kind of like nitpicking. We'll dive into that later. I really want to.
I do want to get into that a little bit more.
Yeah, we are. That'll be in the politics segment. But I really do want to dive into his performance.
Yeah.
I've had to watch it a few times because the next day I woke up and I was just reading, I was decoding everything, listening to the background producers on what it took to like. I was like, let me watch this again. I must have watched that Super Bowl performance now because Ad likes it too. But for my personal reasons, 8 times, close to maybe 10. I watched it quite a few times already. And it sucks because, I'm reading ratings. I'm not a numbers guy. Yeah. But I'm like, this definitely would have got bigger numbers if it wasn't for the whole boycott. I'm going to have my own kind of... I think that kind of took away from more people watching him. Yeah. I think he could have easily surpassed everyone if it wasn't for that. Yeah. And nobody's talking about that. They'll rank him, but I'm like, the reason why he's ranked so low is because this is the first time somebody was like, you know what, we're going to do our own halftime. And people, I'm not going to lie, some people were on board with that crap, right? Yeah. And tuned in to watch it, as opposed to last year, those same people that were tuning in to like this Kid Rock show. Mm-hmm. Last year, they were in Kendrick Lamar. They didn't have the option to tune into something else. So those numbers are going to be high because everybody was tuning into last year, the year before that, as opposed to this year, there was like a split. Yeah. He got a good chunk of the audience ripped away for some bullshit. Anyways. Yeah. Having said that, the performance itself, I went back and watched other performances. I don't want to sound biased because I'm Puerto Rican. Mm-hmm. I don't want that to be, but his had like way more depth.
Yeah.
Way more. It was just so fucking detailed where I was like, it made me like this motherfucker even more. Just what? Because I've read so much details. Like I was telling Elise this. I was like, this motherfucker refused to do his own stunts. I mean, not to do his own. He refused not to do, like he wanted to do his own stunts. Yeah. No. He was like, no. I was reading that they were like, you know what? He was like, I'll do it. And I was like, the reason why he did that is because the motherfucker wrestled. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at that, you're like, oh yeah, he could do his own stunts. Yeah. Yeah. That in its own, that's like some Tom Cruise shit. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna make this better. Yeah. By inserting myself into the equation, falling into the little house, climbing up the pole, not having any harness on him. Like there was like 4 people around him. on a harness. They were dancing. They had the harness. He didn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like little things like that. And then obviously like some of the statements he made, and the biggest statement to me into why I like him more. You know, I'm gonna speak for us now. We're huge fans of Bob Marley. Can I say that?
Yep.
Safe?
You know it.
The promotion of feel good, love, and unity is in Bob's music, right? Like Bob Marley's music is as good as that was all. That DNA was all there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That DNA was all in there.
Yeah. You know what? I almost feel, I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to leave that alone. But
we'll touch down on it.
Yeah. But what I wanted to say, man, hold on, because I don't want to lose the thought, but I won't take too long if I did lose the thought. Let me see.
You want to write it down? Just so you don't lose it?
Yeah, lost it. I'm going to have to think about it. Go ahead.
But, back to his performance was great. Great selection of songs. He didn't sound bad on the mic. He sounded exactly like he did in records.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Was you said there was so much depth in the performance.
So much.
And, I think to be fair to a lot of people maybe who watched it, who don't come from the background, right? But this is true with a lot of artists. You will see a painting, you will listen to a song, you will read a book or watch poetry and be like, oh, what do they mean by that? Well, why did they do that? And there was meaning behind it. And someone else later on interpreted it and be like, this is what the artist meant to bring out in this. And for a lot of people who didn't grow up, if you're not that Puerto Rican background or Hispanic background, in a lot of cases, there's a lot of things in that performance that he did that have some meaning and have some depth that if you're from, if you just don't have a lot of experience with the Latino culture or whatever, that you may have missed.
You're talking about relatable stuff, for sure.
Relatable things,
there is a lot of things that weren't relatable, like the beginning when he's walking from session to session. Those were like real businesses. Like that. Anybody can relate to that. He's like supporting local small businesses. You know what I'm saying? And somebody getting married on his show. Like there were like relatable things. Like when he wakes up the kid as he was like falling asleep at the party. That's a Latino thing, or maybe, at least we see it. There was the small businesses as to what they're selling, like piraguas and tacos. Yeah, that's like culture stuff. But the main thing is supporting local businesses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The main thing was love, people getting married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter how the party was and how it was juking, that becomes more of a relatable thing. But like the bigger message, I think, was for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the little things that...
No doubt. Love is universal. It's international. Music is international. I don't think it has to... Look, I don't know about you, but I've heard a lot of music from other countries that I've enjoyed that I'm like, man, that's good. That's real good.
Yeah.
And I don't need to know the lyrics. It just sounds good. I on my own, guys, like I've listened to like Italian music that I love. How many people out there who are listening and in this world love those three tenor guys? You know what I'm talking about? They're famous. The guys, the opera guys, the three tenors.
Oh, yeah. I want to pull up my phone. I
don't want to. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking
about.
90% of the people who listen to those guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know the lyrics. They just love the sound that they're putting out of their mouths.
Yeah, you know what I think? I don't think the lyrics people not understand. I think that was more of an excuse.
Yes, and that's all I'm trying to do is prove a point, and that with Bad Bunny being the performer at the Super Bowl, some of the controversy was that none of the lyrics were in English, and my examples here that I'm trying to put out is that a lot of Americans, probably a good percentage of Americans, have listened to music that do not have English lyrics in them.
Yeah.
And have enjoyed that music. And for you, if that's been the case, to now kind of come out and be like, yeah, hey, we need some, this is not going to be in English and kind of thing. I mean, there's an argument to that here. You know what I mean? So
for sure. Yeah. I like I said, I think that's just the excuse as to the main reason that we're gonna get to in a minute. Because I think there are other things, and people just kind of put that out because of the obvious. And another thing too with that is some people just like to join in and be like, "Why don't you like it?" And they won't have an honest answer, so they're just gonna just lean back to that because it's the more obvious answer.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, that's not really why. But nobody's counterpunching anybody. However, I don't want to take this time. I really want to shine light on the talent.
Yeah.
That this guy has. This guy's really good, man.
He is.
He's really good.
I think if people dig down a little bit more into his music, and they'll see that.
Yeah.
They'll see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout outs to Bad Bunny on an incredible performance. To me, probably the best. I mean, if you guys want to...
there you have it.
If you guys want to debate me, I'm going in with a debate. Because I know another thing, too, is that a lot of the performance, because they'll show people, and I've seen this, like, oh, this person, the stadium wasn't... You see people just not jamming out. And they're trying to use that as against them. Like, oh, look at it. He wasn't that great. Nobody in the audience was dancing. That show was meant for the viewers at home. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of times where I'm pretty sure if you're at that stadium, you couldn't even see him. That was meant for us.
That Super Bowl show, as you can see by the camera angles, was definitely for the viewer on TV. And guys,
you're not going to a concert.
I've told you this lots of times. When you pay to go to a stadium to watch whatever sport you're going to go watch, you're paying for the environment. You're not paying for the view you're getting, because you're getting a shit view when you go to the game.
For sure.
I'm telling you that right now. I don't care where your seats are. I don't give a shit if they're courtside. Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit if they're courtside. You're still not getting a better view than the NBA camera is giving me as a viewer at home. You can be, what's his name, Spike Lee, New York Knicks, courtside. I'm still getting a better angle than you on TV, bro. I don't know how much you're spending. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Because you know what? On the court, you're still at an angle. Your seat is at an angle as it relates to the basket, mm-hmm. On whatever side you're sitting on. Unless you're maybe at the half court where you get maybe a little bit better angle. But as a viewer on TV, I get to see it from all angles. Yeah. So I'm getting the better view. You're not. Yeah. You're spending a lot of money for that atmosphere and to be in the arena.
Are you talking about shows in general? Because there's shows that are meant for audiences.
Man, I almost kind of lost my train of thought of like why I brought that up a little bit.
Because I was saying his performance specifically was...
Oh, yes.
Was for TV. I mean, I've been to concerts where I'm like, this is for the audience.
Yes. And so going back to that, and I threw that little sports example in there, but to go back to like the Super Bowl halftime show, that was all for TV. If you were sitting up in the 300 level of that stadium, you were not seeing, maybe on the Jumbotron, but not as good as we were on TV. You just, and maybe and even being in the stadium, a lot of times your eyes are distracted. So you start looking at the real thing down on the field, mm-hmm. which looks so small and tiny. And then look, I'm glancing back at the Jumbotron. So the experience is kind of lost, whereas the person watching it on TV sees it nice and clear and well. And,
for sure.
And so, different experience.
Yeah. And you know what, too? I'm glad that we're recording this podcast and talking about this subject later, because I know a lot of people did jump quick to review and to talk and give their 2 cents an opinion. Me, I like to sit back and just kind of let it, you know, I like to let it soak and because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But great performance, great artist. Shout outs to Bad Bunny. But you know what? I want to get into like the politics of this shit, and that's where we're gonna get into. So let's break down this segment and talk about the politics behind this shit. Let's do this.
Boom.
See, whenever I like to talk politics and stuff, I like to have a beer on hand.
Crack open a nice cold.
What do we got here? Hold on.
What do we got?
This is good. This is a pale ale. Oh, is that said OIB?
This is a Old Irving Brewery here in Chicago.
Okay.
You and I went to it. Remember that?
So this is their beer.
Yeah. It's on.
Perfect.
It's actually on Belmont, I believe. Old Irving Brewery, but good brewery, local Chicago brewery. Good food there. Remember we had those burgers?
Yeah, fucking great burgers.
Stuff.
I do not understand why we haven't been back there.
Yeah, we should go back. Do it up.
Yeah,
if you're in the Chicago area, Old Irving Brewery.
We should do a video.
The beer is good. The brewery's good. The food is good.
The food is great.
Yeah.
The burger was phenomenal.
Yeah. And you know, that's kind of the problem with a lot of breweries is that they don't have their own food. A lot of times they'll partner with places nearby and they'll be like, oh, hey, we're making the beer, but you know, so-and-so, Johnny's Pizza next door and they'll bring pizza over or whatever.
Yeah. Over here we have quite a few breweries that make their own restaurant, but that one, their food stuck out to me as much as their beer, like equally.
Yeah, we had those burgers. They were good.
Yeah, but let's dive into the politics of this, right? Yeah. So I don't want to say I'm gonna play devil's advocate, but I would like to know your response of some of the issues that people might have with El Conejo Malo, right? Yeah. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
All right. So a lot of, and you gotta kind of school me on these things.
Yeah.
Right. So. Some of the things he says might be vulgar in his music.
In some of his music.
Yeah, very vulgar. But
not in the Super Bowl show though.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And not to say I'm not a fan of vulgar music, because I love it. Yeah. Right? I like it. Right. I like it. I have no problems with it. But as far as like the political stuff, and I know I've seen online a lot of people getting upset with the whole ICE out thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think artists and musicians should not be mixed with politics or don't know enough about politics. Yeah. I disagree, by the way, because like I said, we brought up Bob Marley earlier. A lot of musicians' music, politics does seep through their music. A lot of great artists, System of a Down, one of my favorite bands.
Yeah,
they dive into political issues, and I think
you can also go on the other side of it, country music. I mean, they really are.
It's very
a lot
important.
of music is very patriotic. It's very.
You have to have it. It's
important. I mean, there's politics there in a lot of music for sure.
I like the fact that he, Bad Bunny kind of does it in the right way, and he's just like, you know what? Let's just not fight. Let's love. That's kind of like his core message.
Sure.
I know, but then you get like him not standing up to like the national anthem. That's like a issue that people have with him. Like he'll be at a baseball game and people get up to do the Pledge of Allegiance and he won't do that. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of backlash. And I need you to kind of like school me on this because I like to hear everybody's input of, he'll say these things, but it's like, yeah, you're going home to your $5 million mansion and not having to deal with what real people deal with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just what's your take on that?
Just on what specifically though?
Everything I said.
Yeah. Okay.
Like not standing up to do the Pledge of Allegiance. A lot of people are like, you know what? You wouldn't be where you were at if you weren't a citizen. If it wasn't for America, the position you're at now, you wouldn't be there.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I'm with you a lot. I want to know your opinion.
I think that an artist who, whether it's in whatever form of art, if you're good, and you're going to be good and stand out internationally, and you can be famous just internationally. It doesn't have to be within a country or a small specific group of people like you or whatever, or not like you. Excuse me. So I don't believe that, you have fans in a country, but you kind of saying that, oh, be grateful. I think basically the premise is, hey, be grateful because this country has made you popular or famous or added to your success. The fans of this country have, not the government, not the policies of this government have made you famous. So be grateful to the fans of a country, but not just the U.S. Internationally, he's just famous. And so to that point, to that question, I call just bullshit. Because he's going to be famous. He's good regardless. It's not because of the U.S. It's not even a political thing, to be honest. He's just famous and successful because he's good. Yeah. Period. And guys, whether you like him or not, I mean, he's successful. He's good. He's good at what he does. And the people of the world, not the people of the U.S., the people of the fucking planet Earth have said he's good. So he's good. Whether you like him or not, he's successful. That's the way it is. Period. Yeah. Right? Okay. We're done on that one.
So it's because, people on the other side of politics have big cult followings. Yeah. And he's very vocal on like Donald Trump, and he'll say what he has to say. And for the most part, I'm not disagreeing. You know what I mean? Like say something. Point out. He's pointing out the obvious.
Yeah, you're
right?
talking about using that was the other thing. Yeah, you mentioned using your status as a to promote your ideas. As a. But
then you got like people like Trump that has this weird cult following that look for things like, oh, the thing wasn't in English, and it's just like you're not really saying anything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate, man, that his performance, and you brought this up earlier, that his performance kind of became like a political thing. I don't know where that all stemmed from.
It stemmed from Trump's weird following, listening to Trump, and them just all hopping on board. Yeah. Because the whole America First thing, and first of all, like, English is, I don't even think America has a language, right?
That's a good question, man. I'm not sure if it's documented anywhere. I don't think English is like considered the official language, like officially anywhere.
Yeah.
But I think everyone who lives in the U.S. knows that it's English and Spanish for sure, right? I mean, you may be living in Oklahoma and not think that, but or North Dakota, but shit, anywhere there's a big ass city, along the eastern seaboard, along the southern U.S. and California, I mean, there's Spanish being spoken everywhere.
See, my thing is, you have these people making points in politics about policies, this, that, and the third, and you gotta, you need to get people together.
Yeah.
Right? And as a leader, you have to, first of all, you have to be somewhat relatable, right? Which our current leader is not. We don't have as much with his. We're not. He's not a relatable dude, right?
Yeah.
People are not understanding that the message, you can't get your country as a leader. You don't get your people to be riled up, and you don't get. You're not supposed to say, "All right, I don't like this guy. Let's just have another Super Bowl because he said bad things about me."
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I understand we're in America. You could do what you want, right? It's kind of like, but that's not a message that we should be sending, especially if you're like a leader of a country.
Yeah.
That you're supposed to be uniting people, and you're not. You're dividing. You're causing chaos.
Right.
I don't care what your policies are. At the end of the day, at least from what I remember, the United States have to be united, right?
Yeah.
Right. That isn't that the point? We got to figure out a way where we can all collectively kind of, move on. And whatever we're dealing with now, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to get rid of criminals, you got to do it the right way.
Right.
You want to make things better, you got to do it the right way. You got to recognize when something like a Bad Bunny is not really hurting, it's more helping. You know what I mean? And I really hate to dive into like subjects like this, but I think it irritated me to see the backlash he was getting when he clearly was promoting peace and love.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, man. I mean, like, it sucks that we have to talk in normal years throughout history. We wouldn't have to talk really about this. You know what I mean? But man, with this, whether you are a big fan of this president or not, I mean, we're not here necessarily to kind of try to bash that or anything like that, but just, I mean, it relates to like this topic and that, what we're talking about with Bad Bunny kind of, doing the Super Bowl show and how it kind of became a political thing, which is ridiculous, man, which is ridiculous that it did. And the fact that it did and that so many people hop on that is just mind-blowing, right? And I think we talked a little bit about this already in the previous segment, so we're not going to kind of go back into that. But you hear this a lot about artists, that they're famous, whether they're actors or singers or whatever the case may be, and people think like, well, I just want to hear you sing. I don't want to hear about your politics. But you know what, guys? If you were in that position, you'd all do the same damn thing. If you're famous and you've got a platform, you have to use that platform to state your opinion, right? Or else in in your own personal little circle, you might be kind of considered as a sellout. People are like, man, people kind of, I'll give you an example. People brought this up about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, considered the GOAT amongst a lot of people in this country, in the world. And when it came to things related to, African Americans and just African American issues, people felt he wasn't vocal enough. He didn't step in enough. He didn't talk about things enough, right? That's it. It's an opinion, but he could have, right? And would his voice have mattered?
I don't know.
Yeah, people, may or may not have accepted that, but I think a lot of people would have, especially big fans, right? People who supported him and watched him over the years, then that would be an important opinion because they respect him. And so, yeah, I mean, whether we like the opinion or not, famous people have this platform and they should use it. I mean, whether you like it or not, there's going to be times where there's people who are for your stance or against your stance. But yeah, of course they should. I mean, I would, you would, if you were in that position, of course. So don't be so judgmental.
Yeah.
So going back to what we were just, we were talking about that a little bit ago about, if artists should use that platform to kind of speak on their politics and stuff like that. Generally, you probably want to stay away from it, but if it's a really important thing to kind of bring up, then yeah, man, I think you should kind of bring a little bit of clarity and try to bring, maybe people together. But, then we were talking about what else we kind of bring me back to what we were, we talked about that, and then we were just talking about the politics of it and stuff, and just,
Well, and then there's other things like him holding up the flag pre-colonization from the United States. So when the United States colonized Puerto Rico and they kind of took over, the blue that's in our flag got changed to a darker blue to match the United States. And prior to that, the blue in the flag, in the Puerto Rican flag, was always a lighter blue to represent the sky, the ocean.
Yeah.
And then when the United States took over, they kind of said, all right, that blue's going to match our blue, which is like a darker blue. So he does walk around with the pre-colonization of the Puerto Rico flag before the United States took over. So they see things like that and they try to pick at that, but man, you gotta know where somebody's coming from. Yeah. When it comes up to stuff like that.
And I just think like
you just can't assume like, hey, we took over, everything's better. Yeah. Because that's not always the case.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's a big thing in Puerto Rico. There are people that we want to be part of the States, and there's a good part
some
like
that don't.
Some don't. That's probably going to be a forever battle.
Yeah.
Always leads to my number one thing with just the world. We should just everybody in the world just kind of collectively move to like a higher purpose, which we're just still fighting over territories and lines and who's right, who's wrong. This is my area. This is what we should be doing. Your color, my color, your flag, my flag. It's just it's a bizarre way of thinking. Yeah. So weird, man. So weird.
Yeah.
But like I said, as a leader, which he did, or at least the message I got from that performance was, look, I'm repping everybody in the Americas, from South America, North America, Canada, because it wasn't like he shitted on America and said, fuck America. He was like, God bless America and all these other places. Yeah. Let's all like just move.
Basically the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Every country in the Western Hemisphere is what he represented.
You should not have an issue with that. Nobody should.
Yeah.
Because we should all be collectively moving together. And if you're like one of these people that are like so embedded into politics and saying, oh yeah, but this is not how it always worked. Eventually you got to evolve. You know what I mean? Things are not always going to be the same, and things are not meant to stay the same. So when you feel like the United States had a purpose and so going this way, it's never going to work that way. Yeah. Because I've seen that where like, oh, we want our United States to be this way. This is how it was planned by our founding fathers. That's old.
Yeah.
That never happens that way.
Yeah.
It's just that's human evolution. Thousands of years back, I don't think people were even thinking this far as to what we're doing now. And 100 years from now, we're not going to be thinking like, oh, this is how things should have been. Yeah. It's just going to evolve to where it needs to evolve. In my opinion, I think we need to evolve collectively on this planet, rather collectively in sections of this planet. Yeah. It's not going to work. It's not good for anybody.
Yeah. I guess if from a political perspective, man, I would just tell people out there, man, if you're listening, like, don't let this country has gotten so polarized, left or right. And in general, growing up, I mean, this country was pretty civil with both sides of the aisle. And I hate that there's just two political parties, too. I hate that it's just the fact that we got these two fucking shithole fucking parties, and that's all people really have to choose from, because I don't know. People just take these fucking extreme sides. And anyways, I think we're all humans. We're all just cordial with one another. We all get it, man. You know what I mean? We all show up to parties or gatherings and we all just get along and we get it. But we let these political people like point out these differences and make these these points of reference and try to really draw attention to them, and get us going against each other, man. And at the end of the day, we're all Americans, we're all people, we're all friends. Like if you were in need, if you were stuck in a ditch and you were in a river and there was a hurricane or there was a storm, hey man, all of us would jump in and help you and get to get you out of it. And we all have red blood, and we all love each other. And don't let all these stupid little points draw us away from each other and what's right. There's some, the way this government is supposed to run, I'm sorry guys, I mean, whether you like it or not, it's not running the way it's supposed to run. There's 3 branches of government, but right now it doesn't seem that way. It seems like there's one branch of government, and that should bother you, because if you are on the supporting side of what things are happening right now, think of it if it happens on the opposite side. Think of it if it was not on the someone running the government that you were not really supporting, right? And all this stuff was happening. You would not like it. You would think it's a bunch of bullshit and put yourself in those shoes. So we should be making sure that this government is running in a real fair way for everyone. And that's it, man. Just like all of us, let's not let the few people, the few jackasses running government separate us as people, in our communities, and man, love each other and just be good people, good neighbors to one another. And that's it. I mean, and there's people out there that, man, that's their job. That's what they want to do. They want to just drive the stake. They want to separate us and just create these divides, with these small little bullshit things that when you look at the bigger picture, I'll tell you guys something, look at this. If you get up in the morning one day, unfortunately, this may happen, right? A loved one passes away and you're faced with that, right? No one wants to face that, but you're going to face it, right? The last thing on your fucking mind is any of this political bullshit. That's not important. But you know what is important? One of your friends that comes up that has an opposing view on politics and comes in and says, hey, brother, I bought you guys some dinner. I know you guys are going through it and whatever. And you're like, man, those are the things, those kind of things of love and friendship and caring. That's important. And you watch this bullshit on the news every night, and this fucking divide, man, that they try to throw our way. And at the end of the day, man, it's just fuck all that, man. Just everyone knows what's right and what's wrong. And if people are being treated right and wrong, and don't try to cover it up, man. Don't try to cover up people's bullshit. You guys know what's right and wrong. I'm not going to try to go in specifics, but let's just be family. Let's love one another, and do not let bad things or negative things happen, or let people run rogue in our country, and people who run our country.
Yeah.
So,
I couldn't say it better, man.
Yeah.
We're going to close with that, man.
Yeah.
That was good.
We love y'all. Good. We love you all. Don't go hating on us. We try to keep it neutral. And But stay tuned after this. I don't know that we'll do any more kind of political stuff. We'll just kind of keep it, kind of fun and all that.
We'll touch down on stuff, man. But sometimes people got to hear our opinions on stuff, and
you got to, man, because if you're listening, you want to hear our opinion, and we want to hear your opinion. And you know what? Chime in, man. Chime in. Send us a comment, and we'll respond.
Yeah,
we're gonna tell you you're an asshole, but no, I'm just playing. But no, we'll entertain it, man.
For sure.
We definitely want to hear you, what your opinions are and your comments. Chime in, man. Send it to your friends and your family, and subscribe and
like and subscribe, man. That's what we're here to entertain and get you guys on board. So. Yeah. Click that like button, click that subscribe button, and click any button. Just give us feedback. All right? Thanks, man. Yep. All right, we're out of here.
Peace.
Peace.